What's up, everybody? It's Trip with Sailing and Such here on YouTube, and in this video I'm going to be answering a question that a lot of people ask. It is, how far can I paddle in a day? I'm planning a trip. I don't know, how far I can paddle in a day. Let's go over this and see if I can help you plan a successful paddling trip. The reality is, there's a lot of factors that go into answering this question. Where are you going to be paddling? What's the water like? Are you paddling on a fast-moving river that's moving 2 or 3 miles an hour? Or are you paddling in a bay or just in a lake or something, or the ocean where there is no current or maybe even current working against you? Is the water flat and calm, or is it choppy? Are there going to be waves that are going to slow you down? What's the weather going to be like? Is it going to be windy, or is it going to be calm? If it's windy and the wind's blowing in your face, that can really slow you down and impede your progress. If you have a 5-mile-an-hour wind in your face or better, it's really tough to make some decent progress. What type of kayak are you paddling? Are you going to be paddling a long and sleek touring type kayak that cuts through the wind, cuts through the waves, has a good cruising speed because it has a long water line, so it has a better hull cruising speed, and it's more narrow, so just a lot easier to paddle at pace? Or are you going to be paddling like a fishing kayak or recreational kayak, or this is a stand-up paddleboard / kayak hybrid, basically a stand-up paddleboard with a kayak hull. So if you're going to be paddling something like this, it paddles a lot slower than a touring kayak does. And also, most outside elements are going to slow this down more than it's going to slow down this touring kayak. This thing is long, slender, and sleek, so it's going to cut through the waves. It's also going to cut through the wind. It's kind of shaped like a bullet, so the wind is going to go over it smoother. There's not a lot of drag. If you have one of these kayaks, you have a bunch of junk on it, a seat, a cooler, dry bags, yourself, things like that just sticking up out of it. That's going to create different drag within the wind, and it's going to really slow you down. If you're paddling down a river, what are the river conditions? Is it shallow water? You're going to have to get out and drag your kayak often? Are there a lot of down trees? You have to kind of pull your kayak over, or just worry about things like that are going to slow you down? Are there portages you have to worry about, whether you're portaging around a log jam, or down trees, or shallow water, or big rapids, or a dam? These are things you have to think about that will really slow you down a lot. How much stuff are you hauling? If you're hauling a ton of gear, you're on a 3 or 4 day trip, and you've got just everything. You're just the type that just brings everything. It just has 100 pounds of gear. That's really going to weigh down your kayak. It's going to sit lower in the water. Therefore, it's going to create more drag and going to be harder to paddle at a decent speed. But if you're going out for just a little day trip, you've got a few drinks, maybe some snacks and some snorkel gear or something, or some fishing equipment, it's not going to be that heavy unless you're the type of fisherman that brings a whole tackle store with them. Are you going to be bringing a cooler along with ice and cold drinks? That can be really heavy. Yeah, quit that. It's my cat scratching. She's got a belt on her collar. Yeah, quit it. Thank you. Are you going to be carrying a cooler with you? If you have a lot of ice and drinks, that can really be a lot of weight that can add up. Now, me personally, I don't think I've ever brought a cooler of cold drinks with me, just to save that weight and just to save the hassle. And usually I'm out for a few days, so cooler's only going to last for a little while anyway. What is your physical conditioning? Are you an experienced paddler who's in decent shape, who can paddle all day at a good steady pace? Maybe you're more of a novice paddler. Maybe your stroke isn't as efficient as it could be. I know mine's not as efficient as it could be, but I'm in decent shape, so I'm able to keep a decent speed for quite a while. If your body's not acclimated to paddling or just physical exertion for a long time, you may have to take more breaks. You're going to be paddling slower, or the effect of the wind, the effect of the waves is going to have more of an effect on you. What about your mental threshold? Are you willing to push it? A lot of times if you're paddling down a boring river, it can get just that, boring. Sometimes it is that, and you just don't want to paddle that much, or you're just, you're not motivated, you're going real slow, or maybe your muscles are aching, things like that. You're just, you're not having a good time. It's too hot, it's raining, or you just don't want to paddle anymore. That can certainly affect your speed and how many miles you can cover. Comfort while paddling is something else to think about that's often overlooked. If you're nice and comfy, you have a good seat in your kayak, and you're just comfortable in there, you're able to paddle for a longer time and enjoy it, because that's what it's all about. You got to enjoy this if you're going to go out there. Some kayaks, however, don't really have a very comfortable seat, and after an hour or 30 minutes of paddling, you may need to stretch your back, do some twists, or get out and stretch your legs even. How much rest you need and how many breaks you're going to take during the day can really have an effect too. Like if you're going to stop for lunch, or are you going to keep paddling through lunch? Are you going to eat while you're paddling? Do you have like granola bars and just little snacks you're going to snack on? Or do you have to pull over and boil some water or do whatever? One of the things I really like about this stand-up paddleboard style is I'm already stretching my legs all day. So, whenever I take a break, often I'll carry a seat on here or just a cooler, so I can just plop down on that, and that's basically me taking my break. So if I'm on a river that's going 2-3 miles an hour, That's a pretty good break. Just to sit down, you can keep cruising while you eat your lunch or while you just chill out. I really, really love that about this thing. But oftentimes if I'm with a group, I'm usually with people who are in, sit down kayaks. And whenever we pull up for a break, a lot of times I just stay on the paddleboard and I just sit there and chill. As soon as I hit the beach, I'm done. I'm taking a break. It's so nice. Love that about the paddleboard style. How fast you're actually going to be paddling? How much effort are you going to be putting into paddling? It takes a lot more effort to go, say, 5 miles an hour than it does to, say, go 3 miles an hour in a kayak. Or 5 is a little out there. Let's say 4 miles an hour versus 3 miles an hour. It's a lot easier to maintain a 2 or 3 mile an hour pace. Just a nice leisure pace. That would be easy to maintain for several hours. Now, if you pick up the pace to a 3 or 4 mile an hour pace, that's going to be a little tougher and you're going to get tired. So you may only be able to paddle an hour at that speed. So you're going to cover more ground by paddling a slower speed over a longer time than a fast speed for a short amount of time. So just take your time, and you're out there to enjoy anyway. It's not always a race, so just enjoy. Are you going to be paddling with a group of people? Oftentimes, a group is as fast as its slower paddler. So you have to consider everyone who's in your group, depending on how many miles you can cover. However many miles the slowest person can cover is however many miles the fastest person can cover. And whenever you think about that, you have to think about not only their physical conditioning, but what type of kayak are they paddling in. If everyone is paddling touring kayaks except one person, and that person is paddling an overloaded, huge barge fishing kayak with everything on there, they're going to really struggle to keep up, and everyone else is going to have to go slow. So the group will be limited to the speed of that slowest paddler. On my first kayak camping trip, my first day down the Chattahoochee River, I did 35 miles. Now that's a long way, and I was excited, I was very motivated, and it was raining, it was cold, I had nothing to do except paddle. The river was moving pretty good, so I just paddled all day, and I paddled pretty good because my mind was set on, I'm kayaking, I'm going, and I went a long way. But now several years have gone by, and I've realized that I've started to slow down a lot. I just like to chill and do some short days, or maybe even just go to one campsite and stay there for 2 nights. That way, one day I just have to chill and do nothing, just relax and enjoy everything around me, enjoy swimming or snorkeling or whatever, fishing or collecting crabs or whatever, just hanging around camp and exploring. So it's not all about that speed and that distance, it's really just about getting out there. Okay, Trip, so you're telling me that it's really hard to tell how fast and how far I'm going to be going, so what do I do? Well, it's easy really. If you're planning your first trip and you're not really sure what to do, just plan an easy trip. Plan, let's say, 10 miles in a day. That's really easy to cover. You can kind of guesstimate that you can cover about 3 miles an hour, right? So let's say you plan a 10-mile day. That's going to take you, 3.5 hours. Now, so let's say 4 hours with breaks, maybe 4.5 hours. It's not a race, like I said, and the whole purpose, my whole purpose, is for you to just get out there. It doesn't matter how many miles you cover, it's just that you're out there enjoying the experience. If you're going to be camping, it'd be nice to get to the campsite early, especially if this is one of your first trips, so you can take your time setting up camp, because oftentimes just finding a campsite can take a little while. If it's not planned and you're just trying to look for one on the riverbank like I do a lot, that can take a little while, and then setting up camp can take a little bit. Collecting firewood, setting up your hammock or your tent or whatnot, cooking dinner, and just maybe enjoying the surroundings. Maybe you want to stop and catch some fish along the way. So just plan a nice, slow trip, an easy trip that's easily done by everyone, because you don't want to plan, 20 miles or 30 miles in a day, and so you're there, you're hustling, you're paddling, and you look at GPS, and half the day's gone, you've only gone 6 miles, you're like, oh my goodness, I gotta go. So you keep paddling, and you're just wore out, you're sore, you're not having a good time, you're unable to enjoy the time that you're spending out there, and you get to camp, it's dark, you gotta set up camp. What if it's raining, you're setting up camp in the dark, in the rain? Oh, that would be not really fun for some people. I don't know, it may be kind of fun because I'd be videoing it, so that would be fun. But for most people, probably wouldn't enjoy that, especially on the first kayaking trip. And see, my goal is to get you to go again and again and again, and keep enjoying this and enjoying this. So I want you to, make it easy on yourself and just be out there. That's the whole point, is to get out there and enjoy it. So you don't have to do something extravagant, you don't have to set a world record or anything like that. You just have to get out there and enjoy, okay? I hope this helps some of you in planning a trip, because I really just want you to get out there and enjoy. And I'd like to thank you guys for watching this video. If you would, how about a like? How about a share? I really appreciate that. And thanks for all the comments and things that I get. I really appreciate talking to you guys. And thanks for asking questions. If it wasn't for people asking these questions, I wouldn't be answering them in videos. So just keep asking questions, and I'll do my best to answer them to the best of my knowledge. Granted, my knowledge isn't that abundant or that magnificent, but I've got a little bit, and I've been out there doing it for a little while, so I'm happy to help and answer your questions, because I really do want to inspire you guys to get out there. That's the whole point of sailing and such. I want you guys to get out there and enjoy it, because I'm able to do it. Anyone's able to do it. It's inexpensive, it's fun, and you can do it almost anywhere there's a body of water, so I want you to get out there. Anybody can do it. Get out there and enjoy it, folks. That's what I want. All right, hey, folks, thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate it. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat. And if you're not a subscriber already, subscribe to the channel. Get more and more adventures. A lot of good stuff coming up. A special thanks to all my supporters over on Patreon. I really appreciate you guys. There's a link below if you guys are curious and want to know more about it. Thank y'all so much for just helping all this happen and helping inspire everyone else. Thank you guys for everything you do. Thanks for the comments and likes. And I'll see you guys in the next adventure or video. I don't feel like that went well. I don't feel like that went well. This is the second time I did this video. I did it yesterday, but it was raining here in my shop, and you can hear all the rain. And I think I did it a lot better yesterday. Whatever. We'll see how it turns out in the edit.